Welcome to Love and Murder. I'm your host, Char. I'll be joined by host Ky. One of the most challenging and rewarding jobs is being a parent. And today's episode, a child's betrayal. Remember, spare the rod, and it could land on your back. Right here at Love and Murder.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to a new episode of Love and Murder. I am your host, Ky, along with my co-host, Char.
Hey.
Oh my gosh, y'all have to forgive us. It has been a long day for us, and then we still have to come on and record, and then go on and, be women, because we still got to do stuff as women. I still got to cook for the family and,
Yep.
stuff like that. So
Super women.
yeah, it's a long day. It's a long day. So you have to forgive Char for taking a while to say her name.
I do know who I am. I'm the one and only. So I do know who I
am. So today's show, well, actually, let's roll back. So this is Love and Murder, like I said. Our show is focused on relationships gone terribly, terribly wrong. And Char, when I say terribly wrong, what do I mean?
Dead wrong.
Dead wrong. One of the
Murder
people
wrong.
always end up 6 feet under, unfortunately. It's people who don't know how to just walk away from a relationship and leave it alone, whether it's husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, or parents. So just relationships. People who don't know how to walk away from relationships, people who don't know how to just suck it up, and what they do instead of being sane, rational people. So that's basically our show in a nutshell. You can check out our podcast on Stitcher or Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts, because I know some people have Androids, they don't have access to Apple Podcasts, and then they're the iPhone users who I'm totally not. I'm completely against iPhone, but my daughter is a trader and she got an iPhone. So anyways, yeah. So if you have an iPhone, then you can check us out on Apple Podcasts. Or if you don't use either Stitcher or Apple Podcasts, you can check us out wherever, on iTunes, on TuneIn. We're everywhere.
Wherever you get your podcast, people.
Definitely. Follow us on social media, and you'll find the links in our bio. We'll definitely say the links at the end of the show, but we don't want to take up too much time in the beginning of the show. But definitely find us on social media. Just look in our bio. You'll see the links. If you want some bonus episodes of the craziest true crime stories, the craziest true crime stories, or relationship question and answer, or Char's crazy life stories, then definitely visit us on patreon.com/loveandmurder. That's patreon.com/loveandmurder, and become a subscriber of $3 and above. We actually have some free bonus content out right now, so you can see what we're talking about in the paid subscription. So right now we have relationship questions, and we have Char's crazy life story. And we're about to put out next week, we're going to put out when I say crazy, a really crazy relationship crime. Well, no, it's not relationship crime, but it's a true crime story, a really crazy true crime story for our bonus episode, our free bonus episode next week. So you can see the kind of true crime stories we're going to have on our Patreon.
Yeah. Kai, we've got to come up with another word other than crazy, because our episodes are so unique and so out there and so wild. They're beyond crazy. So it's just think in terms of something you've never really heard before, just way out there. We got to think of another word though. Yeah.
I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll just go to thesaurus. I can't say that word, right? Thesaurus.
Thesaurus. That's what I was thinking. Thesaurus.
Thesaurus. I can't say it. I can't say it that fast. I have to slow down.
Oh my God.
Thesaurus.
Think of a Tyrannosaurus. I
don't know. We'll do that after the show. But if you've listened to our show before and you like it, please go to Apple Podcasts and hit the purple button and give us 5 stars. Say whatever you want in the description, but you giving us 5 stars definitely helps bring us up in the charts. So we're going to get to our crazy relationship true crime story tonight. And I'm pretty sure that I'm pretty sure a lot of people have heard of this story. It's a pretty famous story, but we're going to go into it and you'll see who I'm talking about soon. Now, these are Vietnamese names. I am American. I do speak some other languages, but I've never learned Vietnamese. So I apologize to our Vietnamese listeners if I butcher these names. Oh, that's a bad term. If I say these names incorrectly, I do apologize to our Vietnamese listeners. I'm trying my best, and I'm not trying to make fun of your language at all.
Not at all.
So, all right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. So, Hugh Han Pan and Bic. So her name is Bic Han Pan, but as she has another name before she got married, but I couldn't find that. So we'll just say Bic. Hugh Han Pan and Bic fled Vietnam in 1979. And when they fled Vietnam, around that time, 1979 was the Indochina War, so it was more than likely to escape that war. Don't ask me about the war. I know a very small amount about it, but Logic might know more. If anybody listens is a fan of our previous show, Love and Murder, No Conduct Radio, you'll know who Logic is. He's a history buff that was on that show with us. Anyways, so I think they fled Vietnam because right around that time, 1979, was when the Indochina War was going on. So they came to North America for a better life. And when I say North America, they actually came to Canada, Toronto to be exact. Han came as a political refugee, and Bic came as a refugee as well, but I'm not sure if she came as a political refugee or what. But she came over as a refugee as well. After they came over here, they actually got married in Toronto. Now, I couldn't find anything to see if they met in their home country of Vietnam or if they met in Toronto. But either way, they got married in Toronto and then they lived in Scarborough. All of this is in Canada. Han worked as a tool maker and a die maker in a factory called Magna International in Aurora, Ontario, Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Now, yeah, Char, do you know what a die maker is?
Like a die cast maker? Cast die? I think
I have no idea.
I want to say that's what that would mean. Someone that does cast, and then they call it die. I don't think it's as in ink. I think it's just setting, like casting or something. I believe. Now, if there's anyone listening, always feel free to correct us. But I believe it
definitely
has
correct us.
That. Yeah.
Yeah, because I have no idea what a die maker is, and I didn't look it up. So he worked.
Sorry, it is die casting. It's called die casting. Because see, imagine like you're setting a mold for something. That's what it is. It could be maybe something that's maybe like liquid steel or maybe some other material. But yeah, really big deal, or like aluminum or something like that. Okay, that I do know.
Okay, well, that's what he did. He was a tool maker and a die maker at that factory. Bic actually worked at the same factory as her husband, but the only difference is she made car parts.
Okay.
Yeah. On June 17th, 1986, they had a daughter, and they named her Jenniferpan. And then they had a son later on in 1989, and they named him Felix Pan. And like anybody who was raised poor or maybe raised in a third world country and came to the United States, and I can say that because my family, I'm first generation American. My family is from a third world country, and I hear the stories from my mom, and my mom was the same way as Han and Bic. So, as with any couple who was originally poor, raised poor, and now they're getting some money in, or they came from a third world country into North America or into a first world country where they have more opportunity to make money, they were very, very cheap. And they did this so they could save money to give the kids basically the life they never had.
Yeah,
so if you listen to any of these parents, they all say that stuff. I want my kids to have what I didn't have when I was little. You hear stories about how they walked miles and miles. Oh God, you have to hear stories about how they walked miles and miles for school.
Yeah.
Lord have mercy. Did we hear those stories? Oh, anyways, Their clothes were sewn. Yeah, the shoes fell apart. Different stories like that.
Just
And
super
they don't
poor,
want.
just don't have anything. Just the
Yeah,
basic bare minimum. That's it. I mean, we have to
yeah,
be
and
more
they
grateful,
don't want their kids to be raised like that. So in
Yeah.
order to be able to make money, you got to save money. You can't just spend money willy nilly. So they were really, really cheap, and they saved the money to give the kids a better life. So by 2004, so this is in the 80s, by 2004, they actually had enough money to buy a good sized house in Markham. I think that's how you say it. The place is called Markham. Anyway, it's a place in the greater Toronto area. And this Markham actually has a really big Asian population. So, I can understand why they might want to move there.
Mm-hmm.
So just so you understand basically how much money they were able to save up, the house they bought was a big house with a 2-car garage. And then Bic, she drove a Lexus ES300, and Han drove a Benz C-Class. And on top of that, they also had $200,000 in savings. So between
Wow, it's a
like,
lot of hard
yeah,
work.
right, between 19 uh between let's say 1979 and 2004, working in a factory, they saved up that kind of money.
Awesome.
So you see what happens when you save people and you're thrifty and you're
Mm-hmm.
not trying to, follow the Joneses.
Exactly.
So, yeah. So as with most foreigners, this is Asians. We all have the same story. Asians, Africans, Caribbeans, etc. Most foreigners from these kind of countries. And when I say in Asians, I mean also Indians, Pakistanis.
Pakistanis.
They're all,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they're all
There's
Asians
West
as
Asia.
well.
Yeah, so just basically
Mhm.
the culture itself, whichever spectrum of that you come from, it's still the idea of starting out where you don't have as much, but you work your way up because you have so much pride in wanting to do that. When you're given an opportunity, especially in
Well,
America to do that.
what I
Hmm.
was gonna say, and with those kind of people, the Asians, Africans, Caribbeans, etc. Those type of parents always have a high expectation for their kids. So Jennifer's
For the
parents are
kids,
no
so true.
exceptions.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Right.
Jennifer's parents are no exceptions. They had very high expectations for their children. They wanted their children to study and get good jobs. More than likely, as with any foreigner, if you ask somebody from, let's say, China, then you turn around and ask somebody from Nigeria, then you turn around and ask somebody from Jamaica, then you turn around and ask somebody from uh, South India, they're all going to say the
Hmm.
same thing. Their
Hmm.
kids have to either be lawyers or doctors, or
Doctors.
possibly an yeah, or possibly an engineer. If you want to be anything else, don't
I would
talk
say
to them.
right up in
Lawyers,
that order,
doctors,
though.
engineers,
That's so
that's
true.
it. No,
That's
actually the order is doctor,
Actually, it's
lawyer, and then
doctor,
engineer.
lawyer, engineer. Exactly.
Yes,
Exactly.
yes.
She's absolutely right, guys. It doesn't waver. That's so true.
It doesn't
There's
waver.
a
They
lot of
don't care what
expectations,
you want
though.
to do. Like, let me not
Yeah.
say all foreign parents are like that from these countries that I'm talking about, but most of them are. They don't care what you want to do, they care what they want you to do. So,
Mm-hmm.
Jennifer's parents were no exception. And I'm not saying this as a bad thing. I don't talk about the victims. I don't disparage the victims at all. So I am not saying that as a bad thing. It is just a fact. And that's a fact that I grew up with. It's just a next word fact. That's it.
You can talk from
So
experience, though. You can actually say, "Hey, this is what I know." So yeah, it is
yeah,
what
I
it
mean
is.
that's what
Yeah.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying, but I don't want people to think that I'm talking bad about the victims, which I'm not at all.
Right.
Anyway, so when Jennifer was 4, her parents actually had her taking piano lessons and figure skating classes. And as Jennifer grew older, because of those like figure skating classes, she had set a goal for herself to become an Olympic figure skating champion. So that's what she wanted to do. But then what happened was she actually ended up tearing a ligament in one of her knees, and then those dreams were just killed because you need your knees to skate, jumping,
Mm-hmm.
twirling, all of that stuff. It's no way that you can move forward if you have such a severe injury. So when she got older, And she was actually in high school. I think they call it secondary school or secondary school. Secondary school. They don't say secondary. Secondary school. So in any British owned or British highly influenced area, they don't have high school. So my mom was raised under like British rule
Rule.
or
Hmm.
British influence. So they didn't have high school. They had like first form, second form, third form, something like that. I don't really understand how it works. Anybody who has British parents or um, from England or from British ruled areas, let me know because I don't really understand how it works. And my mom explained it to me, and I'm not gonna call her and ask her how it works again. But
Right.
they don't have a high
Yeah.
school; they have secondary school, and their secondary school is basically what they learn there is basically what we learn in college,
In
and then they
college,
go to
that's what I was gonna say. That sounds accelerated. Yeah.
yeah, and then they go to university. So, anyways,
University. Hmm.
when she got older, so for high school, we'll say for our American listeners, but it was really a secondary school. She went to Mary Ward Catholic Secondary School. See, even in the name, it's saying secondary school. And
Hmm.
she played the flute in the school band. So between her father was the more strict parent, and the mother just, in those kind of relationships. I don't want to say in every foreign country because I in every foreign country that's a lie. I was gonna say the woman usually just goes with what the man says, but that's a lie because I know in certain foreign countries
Not
that
as
doesn't happen.
independent as these women are these days in all countries and all. Yeah, no, not really. Not
Yeah,
anymore.
some
No.
women, Arab women, contrary to popular belief, where people think that Arab women are really demure. No, a lot of Arab women will be like, look, they'll give their husband a look like, really? Who you talking to? I've
Okay,
seen it
I'm gonna be
happen.
honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you. You just shocked me with that information because I have to say I just always picture docile, humble, timid, and very submissive and just not outspoken. Just know your place, and that's it. That's the
Well, I don't
only
know
picture
how
that I
many
get.
times, Shar, that I've known you over the course of what 5 years now that I keep telling you stop
Six and
listening
a
to what
half,
the
oh, seven, almost 7 years now.
that
Go
I
ahead.
keep telling you to stop listening to what the
Yeah.
frickin' media shoves down your throat because it's a frickin' lie. No. Yes,
No, not the
Arab women.
media. No, not the media, but I no, not the media. I read books and I even read a story about an Arab woman and she tells like her life and she became very famous for this, but she talks a lot
Are
about the
you talking
culture.
about
And
not
so I just
without my
started reading.
daughter?
No, not that one. That's a good one though, but I didn't know that. I wouldn't look at that for just cultural aspects. No, I'll actually come back and circle back and let the listeners know also what the name of this
Okay,
book was.
so what I was
President.
gonna say,
Hmm.
no. A lot of Arab women are very outspoken and very independent, and they do just like American women, in the sense of you don't talk to them all crazy if you're the husband. Watch who you're talking to. They don't disrespect their husband, but they might just give him the look like, who are you talking to? And then the husband will be like, honey, blah, blah, blah. And the husband will be running behind his wife like, oh, no, 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 baby. Oh, it's okay. Calm down or whatever. Now in certain areas where they have, how would I put this, where they have perverted the religion and they believe the religion of Islam, that's what I'm talking about, and they believe they could smack up their wife for just doing anything, then I guess in those cultures, yeah, but
Hmm.
that's their culture. That has nothing to do with Arabs on a whole. That has nothing to do with the religion of Islam. That's them who decided this is what they're going to do. So it's just like if you go to certain European countries, they smack up their women too. So you wouldn't say, "Oh yeah, that's all Germans or that's all Christians over there." It's the same thing. It's just certain people. But yeah, no. So she just went along with what her husband was doing. So he was more strict, and he made sure that Jennifer went to all her extracurricular activities, and after class or after her extracurricular activities, he would pick her up as soon as it ended every single day. He wouldn't allow her to date. He wouldn't allow her to go to school dances. He wouldn't allow her to go to parties. And this was all because he was just afraid it would interfere with her school and her grades. And not really like some other parents where they think maybe she'll get pregnant or have sex or whatever like that, or
That's
start
what you
doing
would
drugs.
think, but it wasn't that. Just want to make sure she stayed focused. But when,
Yeah, not
but she,
saying not,
but she, I mean, but she's losing the life experience in between, so that's not really fair. But go ahead. I'm just
well,
thinking what
I
parents
was
don't
gonna
think
say
this through.
yeah, I was gonna say not really saying that he wasn't worried about drugs and pregnancy, but his main
Yeah,
reason for doing this was so it wouldn't affect her grades. And then, like you kind of said, not letting her get the experience. I mean, I'm not letting my daughter date, and I don't really want her going to high school dances. If she goes to the dances, I'll be a chaperone. And she's not going to high school
now,
parties. She's not going to high school parties.
what age are we talking about when you want to implement these rules? Starting
This is
at this
high
point
school.
or later?
She's not. It's not happening in high
This all
school.
through high school.
Yeah, for
Okay.
what? What experience is she missing out on?
No dances. Well, I don't know. I mean, it depends on what she's used to. Maybe if she knows dancing's not something that you do as a family or do outside of the house and with your friends, and that wouldn't be something she's missing.
I
But
just don't
the typical
understand what she's
teenager,
missing out. The typical teenager here, and that's just what the parents allow. And just because it's the typical teenager doesn't mean that my daughter has to be this type of
well,
typical teenager.
did you have those experiences?
No, I didn't go. I didn't want to go to high school dances. I saw no reason to. I
You
didn't want to
didn't
go
think you
to.
were missing anything.
I'm never not going to a dance. I wanted to go to one party, and that was my senior graduation party. That's the only party I ever wanted to go to, and I wasn't allowed to. But that was it. I've never wanted to go
Oh,
to a dance. I've never wanted to go to a party. I wasn't really into like I didn't want to date while I was in school. It looks stupid to me. And you hear the girls just talking
you're
about sex and
kidding.
no, I'm not. It just I didn't
Okay, well, you
understand it.
don't. Well, the thing is, you don't have to date. I mean, have sex to date, not at all.
I
There's
didn't
all
want
kinds
to
of
date
levels to
any of
that.
the boys in
So,
my school, so it didn't
oh
matter.
my God. Well, how would you feel if your daughter has different ideas than you do in some way? Would you
She
allow
can,
her to express and be herself? What if she thinks that it might be fun to be able to experience a dance? Maybe not go to every
like I
dance, but
said,
maybe
if
a dance.
she wants to go to a dance. She wants to go to prom, and I told her fine. I'm just going to be a
The
chaperone.
chaperone.
They asked for parent chaperone, and I'll be a chaperone. However, don't get me wrong. I'm not
Okay.
the kind of person that's going to be like, right there next to her. How you doing? What you doing? And sitting there just staring at her from across the room. No, I'm gonna let her
Okay,
have her
got it.
fun.
Yeah.
I'm just there in the general vicinity to make sure my child is safe. Because if she comes into a love and murder type experience, it's gonna be a whole different story. Because I will go psycho.
Yeah, I
So to
know.
prevent
I
this,
can witness this, everyone. I can
so to
definitely vouch for
prevent
that.
this, I stay in the general area of my daughter. I am not a helicopter parent. I don't like, what are you doing? What's your friend doing? No, I don't do that. I'm just in the general area. I let her have
Okay,
her
general is
fun, and
fair.
I'm just in the general area. I'll be on my
Okay.
phone or talking to other people or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
I'm there, but I'm not there. And she knows that I'm there. I'm not going to be like a stalker parent either. She knows that I'm
But
there.
like my
So
presence is here. So you just
exactly.
know
So if
that I'm in
some
this
boy
room.
touches her,
Okay.
she'll be like, "My mom's over there, and she's crazy. You sure you want to go down this road?" Like, I'm there.
But why
I'm there
not?
if
But
you
why
need
not
me.
allow her? But why not allow her to make her own decisions as an almost woman at that point? Why
I
not allow
do. Even as
her
a
to?
child, I let her make her own decisions. I used to watch her outside playing, and I'd sit back. And there used to be people that would jump, like want to fight her, and I didn't jump. Like, hey, I let her. I watched to see how she handled it. And then when she ran to me for whatever, I would tell her, "You need to do X, Y, Z." I wouldn't go handle it. So again, I let her make her own decisions. I look to see if she makes right and wrong decisions. I look to see how she handles the situation, but I don't jump in unless I see like some gigantic man grabbing my child or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But I don't jump in. I let her deal with her own life. And then when she comes to me, I give her my advice. This is how you handle it. And then, she'll implement it or not. But the main point is I'm there in general. In general, if I need to help my child because like she's 5 and a teenage boy comes after her to punch her in the face or whatever happens. You know what I'm saying? So she's
Mhm.
always made her own decisions. I give her my advice. She makes her own decisions. But in terms of me being in the vicinity, I'm there. And I don't care what anybody else thinks. Y'all could tell me whatever. She needs to have her blood. I don't care. Y'all are not raising my child. It's not your child. And then
That
all
is
that's going
true.
to happen is if something happens to her, I'll get all y'all people's condolences, which you could shove up your. But anyways, we're going to talk about this. Anyways, yes, that's why I'm around. So that's it. But so, anyways, her father was strict, and I'm not a strict parent at all. Contrary to what y'all may think based on what I said, I'm not a strict parent at all. My daughter has so many parties like sleepovers and stuff at our house. Her friends are always over here. They love being over here. I let them have fun. I don't like tell them what they're supposed to do. Obviously, no alcohol, drugs, or sex or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But they have
Okay. Yeah.
they have fun. They play their video games. They play board games, whatever. And I'm just here. But I let her children, her friends come over, so she doesn't miss out on any of that. She goes to their little parties. Um, and I'll either stay in my car or talk with the parents there. Or a couple times I have left, but she knows, call me if anything, you know? So,
Right.
yeah. But, anyways, so Jennifer's father was very, very strict. Like I said, her mother just went along with this. He didn't allow her to do anything. He just wanted to make sure she had good grades and she excelled at her extracurricular activities. In elementary school and middle school, again, I don't know under British terms what that would be called, but in elementary school and middle school, Jennifer actually made really good grades. She was like an A student. But by the time she got to high school slash secondary school, her grades were like average. She was like in the 70 percentile of the students.
That's
And
not good enough, according to her
yeah,
parents.
of course, no, I would get in trouble for that. Are you serious?
Yeah, yeah. A lot of kids would actually, me as well. Yes.
Actually, my I was an AB student, and my parents were really, they didn't like that. They wanted more A's than B's.
They wanted
They
just A's and A pluses.
they mainly wanted A's, yes, but
Hmm.
AB it was okay, but it wasn't really acceptable. But if I had gotten a C,
Wow.
I'd have been in trouble.
Oh yeah, that's like a
And
D or an F.
no, and I'm totally not like that with my daughter. I try to give her goals, like your goal. What's your goal? Do you want to make
Yeah.
more A's? And she's like, yes. I say, okay, well, let's work towards more A's.
Oh,
And if
that's
she
really
makes a
great.
C, I don't get angry that she makes a C, but I just know that we have to work harder in that subject to bring up the C, which we've done on many occasions because she's had C's before, and then we would just work harder to bring up that grade. I'd get her a tutor and this and this and this. So I am totally not like that. So when she was actually in 12th grade, she failed calculus. What she did to kind of like throw her parents off, because if she failed calculus for her father, he would have just lost his temper because, oh my God, But what she did was she forged her report card. So it helped make her parents think that she got straight A's, which I did that before. Will never forge
Well,
a signature again in my life, but I
can you
forged.
blame a kid for doing that? It's calculus, and how did you get away with it anyway?
No, I
How did you
don't,
get away
because
with it?
like I'm telling you, I forged it wasn't a report card, it was a, what was it? What did they send home before they send home the report card? The progress
The
report.
warning, it's like a progress. Yeah,
Because
like a
I don't even
warning report.
remember. Yeah, I don't even remember
Yeah.
what I had on there, like a C or D or something, but this was like fourth grade, third grade, third or fourth grade, I can't remember. And I forged it. And of course, third or fourth grade, come on. What's my freaking writing gonna look like? And I'm trying to pass this off as my mom signed this. I got it.
Actually, I got away with that twice. I don't know what the problem was for you.
But in third or fourth grade, really?
Yeah, the teacher never said anything, and mom never caught
Well,
on.
your teacher didn't care because my teacher sure cared and called my mom, and she was like, "Yeah, I don't
This
believe
just looks a little
this chicken
shady, a
scratch
little
looks like an
skeptical.
adult." Yeah. So I got
Right.
in trouble for that, and then I had to write lines for like, I can't even
Oh,
tell
yeah, I
you.
had to do that. Definitely
I
for other
had to.
reasons.
I will not.
25 lines.
Yeah,
I
I
will
will
not.
not forge or whatever. I can't even
Yeah.
remember. I know it was. I
And then
will
the
not
word
forge.
signature would take you forever to write out 25 times. Oh my
I
God.
know it had
Such a
something to do
punishment.
with. I know the word conscious was in there because that's
Oh,
how I
you had
learned
to
to
write
spell the
that
word.
word
I That's
over
how
and
I learned the
over?
word conscious.
Conscious. Oh,
I will not
conscience.
forge, and then something about my conscience.
Uh-huh.
And I had to write that every single day over and over. I don't know how many times a day, but I realized I forgot, how old was I? I think I was in college, and somebody was telling me, no, just go ahead and sign my name and
You're like,
whatever.
oh
And I
no.
was like, no, I
Not
do
doing
not
this
sign
again.
anybody's name ever. And they were
Yeah.
like, what? I was like, I don't sign nobody's name. You sign
But that was a good teacher. That was a great teacher. You need to look her up one day. I think
it.
she taught you a
No,
good
it
lesson.
was my mom and my stepdad who had me
Oh,
doing that. Yeah. And my
okay.
mom just laughs at me because she was like, it worked, huh? Because you don't sign anything. You don't forge anybody's name. I said, look,
Mm-hmm.
the flashbacks are real.
Real.
But anyway, so she forged her report cards to make her parents think that she got straight A's. And because she failed calculus, the college she had like early admittance to, which was Ryerson University, they actually revoked that early admissions from her. And I want to note that even when her parents thought she was in college, her father still didn't let her do anything, not go to parties, not date, not do anything. And Jennifer said, and I'm going to quote this, and she said this when she was 22. She said she had never gone to the club, she'd never been drunk, she'd never gone to a friend's house or gone on vacation without her family, which to me, that's, in terms of going to the club and drunk, I don't understand why you had to have, I don't understand why that's like a life mission to be drunk or go to the club. Go to a friend's house, that's kind of crazy that she's never gone to a friend's house. And go on
That is a little bit
vacation.
much.
I
I
don't
agree.
know about going on vacation without her family because
No,
again,
no, I wouldn't. No, I would be against that unless it was
yeah,
literally family, practically of a friend. You know what I mean? Like
exactly,
I've known,
exactly, exactly.
I mean, like the parents, we grew up together since we were 3 years old. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? Yeah.
So out of that whole list, the only thing that I'm shocked at is she's never been to a friend's house. That's it.
Right.
So yeah, her and her friends actually described their parents or her parents as being tiger parents. Do you know what that means, tiger parents?
Just aggressive. I don't know. I'm just going by how it
Aggressive.
sounds.
I don't think it's
Tiger.
a
You said tiger. A tiger is aggressive.
no.
That's where I'm getting this from. I have no idea.
I'm gonna look it up. Tiger parents.
Are you
Let's
spelling
look it up.
Tiger? Like wow,
Yeah,
tiger.
tiger
That's not.
parent.
I
Yes,
didn't make
rare.
that sound.
Oh,
That'd be
good
a
lord.
cat, but
Okay, so tiger parenting is a form of strict or demanding parenting. The tiger parents push and pressure their children to attain high levels of academic achievement or success in high status extracurricular activities such as music, using authoritarian parenting methods.
isn't it kind of what I said? I said
I was about
aggressive.
to
I
say,
meant aggressive, strict. I'm still putting that in the same category. That was my word, and that's exactly what I had in my head.
well, when you say aggressive parents, I'm more thinking like,
Strict,
no, it's
like
more like
scared.
they slap them just for, I don't know.
I didn't necessarily mean that aggressive. I just mean just hard to, hard parents that are just. I mean, that's just what comes to me aggressive. Like, no, do you want to do this? No. Can you do that? No. I mean, and then they have the reasons, but it's like, don't talk back to me, don't talk over me, don't ask, don't think
Well,
about it, don't
that's not
breathe, don't
tiger parents.
breathe.
Don't talk to me. That's
I
like
mean,
that's just a strict parent. That's not a tiger parent.
okay,
Tiger
okay,
parent and specifically deals with pushing their children to excel at every freaking thing.
hmm
But strict parent is, yeah, don't talk back to me. Which actually, I don't think that's strict. I think that's normal. Don't talk back to me. Are you
No,
serious?
you're right. I mean, culturally, I think it's normal too, but some people might think, hey, what's wrong with that? But no, I do think that because my child couldn't do that to me. So, yeah, so that's just strict. I mean, well, that's just teaching respect. There's a difference.
Yeah. My daughter's allowed to talk back to me in the sense of she is allowed to tell me like how she's feeling,
hmm
how I'm making her feel.
That's good.
I'm stressing her out if I'm yelling at her or something like that. But in terms of she cannot talk back if I said, go clean your room. I ain't cleaning my room. Oh, ho, ho.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's how you feel.
that kind of talk back is an absolute no. She'll be calling Miss
Right.
Shar, Miss Shar,
Like, oh, let her do it. It's
help.
okay. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
you'll be
that would be
raising her,
me.
that's for sure. um, so, um, remember I said that they thought she was in college? I said that specifically for a reason. Well, Jennifer had actually started lying to everyone she knew and actually pretended that she was going to college. But the issue was she didn't even graduate from high school because of that calculus class. So she didn't even get to graduate from high school.
Oh, wow. That's so sad.
She ended up fabricating an acceptance letter to college, her diploma from high school. I don't know, but see, being a tiger parent, but you know what? I guess they weren't raised in the United States, so they don't know how it works. Because I was going to say, being a tiger parent, shouldn't they have been like, well, why didn't we go to graduation? Or, you know what I'm saying? But they weren't raised here, so maybe it was just easy to fool them. So yeah, so she made up acceptance letter to college. She made up homework. She made up report cards. She even went as far as buying secondhand textbooks and just
Oh
crazy
my
stuff like
gosh.
that.
Well,
Yes.
she's a pretty smart girl. I have to give her that. She's very
Well, to
creative
me, you
and
could have you
yeah.
could have used all that time and all that smarts to just pass calculus. Like, sit there and study calculus and pass it. And you lied about everything else, so you could have lied about while you're going to summer school or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh no, I'm just going to, like, I don't know. The school needed a volunteer to help other children who weren't doing well in calculus. So since I was doing so well, I'm going to help them. They asked me to help them. And instead, you're sitting there taking your calculus. Like, why didn't you do that instead? Again, this is what our show focuses on: the crazy crap that people come up with instead of, thinking to do the same shit. You're thinking about the whole crazy stuff. You forged all of this stuff when all you had to do was go and take calculus again and graduate from high school. And I'm pretty
Wow.
sure, even though your grades were mediocre, a college would have still accepted you. Like, you could have still gone to community college, but just tell your parents you were in university or something. I don't know. But anyways, that's not all she did. So just keep listening. She told her parents that she had won scholarships and that she had accepted an offer to get into pharmacology program at the University of Toronto. So instead of actually going to school, she would just go to restaurants and just sit there. She got a job as a piano instructor, and she worked in a restaurant to earn money. So she had to also keep up the charade that she was in school. So she bought pharmacy books, like I said, secondhand textbooks, and she watched videos on pharmacology, and then she took notes on these videos, and then she had the notes. Like, oh yeah, these are the notes we did in school today, Dad. Like, what the? Why go through all of this? Obviously, you're not lazy. Like, it doesn't make
No,
sense.
not at all. Because it takes so much fortitude and so much just everything to put yourself into all, like to think of the things that she's thinking of as like a full-time job in school all over again. She's just doing too
She
much.
has
She's
two
doing way too
jobs.
much.
She has
She's
two jobs, and she's basically going to school. Like, how does this make sense? Just go to
Yeah, but
school
I'm
then.
saying it's like you're going to school again. You're putting yourself through school in
Yeah, no,
jobs
no,
with
no. I
all that
know.
extra work that you're doing
I know. That's what
unnecessarily.
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
So it was
yeah.
like, just, you could have just, like, all that time you were doing this and they're not checking up on you. You literally could have just gone back to high school and redone calculus. Like, so that's what I'm saying. It doesn't make sense.
Hmm.
So, anyways, when she was 24 years old, she asked her dad, her parents, permission to stay with a friend near campus, quote unquote, so that it would be easier for her to get to school, and she'll have more time to focus on her studies than the commute going back and forth to home or whatever. So of course they gave her permission because they wanted her to be able to focus on school, or so they thought. But what Jennifer was actually doing was staying with her boyfriend.
Oh,
And
typical teenager. Oh
well,
wait,
she's
was she? No,
24.
she was grown
She's
then. She
24.
wasn't a
Yeah.
teenager. It's just that teenagers do that too. I just had a flashback there. Sorry, but no, but that's honestly in your 20s, especially your early 20s, and even it's just normal. It's normal. You make up a lie, and that's really where you are.
Well,
Parents know
I
these
wouldn't
things.
say it's normal. I wouldn't expect my daughter to lie to me as if it's normal. But then again, it's the kind of relationship you forge with your children. If you give them a relationship in which they think they have to lie, then that's what's going to happen. If you have an
Yeah, that's
open
true.
relationship with them, then they don't feel they have to
They
lie. Like
don't
I
feel they
tell,
have to lie.
yeah, I tell
Hmm.
my daughter, I said, tell me, don't lie to me. The first second you lie to me, I will never trust you again. But
So
tell
true.
me. And I tell her, I don't try and be like these parents either. If you tell me, I won't be angry. No, I tell her it depends on the. I tell her
As soon
it
as she stood there
depends.
yelling, I'm gonna be
Yeah,
angry now.
right. No, I tell her it depends on the situation. If it's something bad, hell yes, I'm gonna be angry. But at least you'll have your mother to help you work through it. But I can't even promise you that I'm not gonna be angry. There's certain times where I won't be angry, and certain times where I'll definitely be angry. But you have someone in your corner to work through it. So
You
she
sound like an
knows this.
awesome parent. I mean, I wish you could have raised me. Wonder how it would
Well,
have turned
she
out.
knows this, but people always ask me, so do you trust Yaz? Yes, I trust my daughter to be a teenager or a young adult. This is what I trust her to do. I'm not going to
Hmm.
say if somebody comes and tells me your daughter lied, blah, blah, blah. I'm not just going to be like, my daughter never. My daughter's still human. She can still make mistakes. I still have to get to the bottom of whatever it is. Will she never lie to me? She probably would. I hope she wouldn't, but who knows? And only time will tell. And all I can do is just hope that, she trusts me enough to talk to me and not lie to me, XYZ. I also told her, I said, when you feel like you're getting to this point where you're ready to have sex, come talk to mommy. Let's have a conversation. Don't just hide and go have sex and then come home pregnant one day, because
Right, I agree.
that's when shit will hit the fan. If we talk about it before and we talk through it and blah 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 blah, that's completely different than you just showing up, hey mom, 9 months pregnant, you're going to be a grandmother. Then we'll end up having to do a show on Love and Murder about this. Not playing.
Oh my God, no! Don't say it. Don't say it,
I'm
lady.
just kidding. I'm just kidding.
But that's why
Truthfully,
you
I
avoid
wouldn't.
these things by the way you raise your child the right way. That's all you have to do.
You
Just,
Yes,
that's
you
it.
do
That's
try, and it is up to the parents to have a relationship with their children and raise their child a right way. But in their defense, in Han and Big's defense, they probably thought this was the right way to raise their child. You know what I'm saying? They come from a different country where raising children is completely different, and they probably thought that with everything that they've given their children, they've actually already surpassed how they were raised. So this is the best that they knew. They're not from here. You know what I'm saying? Life
yeah,
as a child in Vietnam or in freaking South Africa or
quite different.
in Pakistan or in
Hmm.
Lebanon is completely different than life in the United States or Canada. The way they expect their children to treat them, what they expect their children to do. Some of these places beat the mess out their children, and that's completely normal. And then you come over here and you're not doing that, but you're not like smacking them across the room, but you're still very strict with them. So in their mind, they probably still think, well, I'm still doing better than what my parents did to me, because I didn't punch her in the face for giving me a dirty dish or something like that. So
Right.
I'm pretty sure they really believe they did their best. The problem is Jennifer's a sociopath, so she's a psychopath, whichever one path that she is. But she's crazy. She could have just taken it and then moved on with her life. She didn't have to, whatever. So anyway, she was staying with her boyfriend, Daniel Chi Kwang Wong. That's his name. They had actually met briefly in high school. And I say briefly because he started off at that high school, the same high school as Jennifer, but then because his grades were so bad, he actually transferred to another school. So he basically failed out of the same school that Jennifer was in, and he had to transfer to another school. So they had only met briefly. He currently works at a pizza place called Boston Pizza, but he also dealt weed. So in nowadays, weed is all legal and they have dispensaries, so everybody's like, so? But back in the day, it was actually illegal to, sell weed. So,
Yeah, I remember those days.
yeah, I mean, that was
Go to
like what, only
jail.
3 years? That was like only like 3 years ago.
3 to 5. It wasn't that long ago.
Yeah. But anyways, in 2010, Jennifer pretended to graduate from University of Toronto because only after a certain amount of time, you could only keep this up for only so long before they're like, okay, well, where's the degree? Like, you've been in college for 9 years. What's going on?
It's a long
So
time.
yeah.
Well, no, but if you're going to be a doctor, it's normal. But she
Well,
wasn't going for that. So,
I'm not saying she was there for nine
oh, you
nine
were
years. I
just,
was just making a joke. But
Yeah, okay.
anyways, she pretended to graduate from the University of Toronto with a degree in pharmacology, and she told her parents that she started volunteering at the hospital for sick children. Like, that's literally the name of the hospital. The Hospital for Sick Children, a proper noun.
Wow.
Yeah, this lasted for a short time because as women, we have this sense about us and we pay attention to every little thing. Like, hey babe, what's that little hair on your shirt? You know,
Yeah, we
I
do. We
yeah,
noticed.
that's
Yeah,
a blonde. My hair
so
doesn't
true.
curl like that, and the
Yeah.
roots of my hair are not blonde. So where we been? So as
Right.
women, we pay attention to everything, and Mama Bick sure was like, okay, something stinks up in here because she was like, okay, first of all, I don't see a uniform. If you're working at, even if you're volunteering at a hospital, you're still going to have a uniform. And the second thing I don't see, I've never seen in your hand is a hospital ID. Sure, you could put it in your purse, but there's not every time you're going to put it in your purse. So what is really going on here? So Mama Bick was on it. So what did she do? As with any woman, who's suspicious of their husband or their children, what do you think she did?
Wow. I mean, she's gonna look through some. I don't know. What does she do? I'm thinking, what would people do?
Well,
Snatch? Look through your
well,
purse, or
me and
look through your
her, me and
purse,
her,
or your
well, me and
wallet,
her,
or
no, no, no. I was gonna say me and her are kindred spirits because she decided to follow Jennifer to work.
Oh my gosh! Look, I'm just going for the most innocent of options. Oh yeah, let me look through your purse.
Now, I'm gonna
Wow.
tell you this: if it was a dude of mine, my husband, doesn't matter. I'm not following you anywhere. You do what you do, what you do, what you do. The stuff will come out when it comes out.
But your
It,
child, yeah, I
but
think
if it
that
was my
warrants that.
child, but it's a certain age, I'm not following her at 24. If she's
Right.
16 and she's telling me she has a job and I'm not seeing any sense of a job, I'll follow her then. At 24, you're a grown woman. You make your own mistakes. That's your life. I did my best. You want to make your mistakes?
Yeah. Sarah,
I'm going to
Sarah.
tell you. Don't look for me for
Yeah.
money because you already lied to me and you didn't come to me to ask me how, like, which path should you take. So you're making your mistakes. Learn from them. I'm not following her at 24. 16, 17, that's a different story. I will be like, where you going? Where you going, little girl?
Yeah.
um,
Mommy sees you.
yeah, right.
Mommy's watching.
I'm watching. Um, so yeah, her mom followed her to work, and basically everything unraveled. So when she saw where Jennifer actually was going, she came back. She told Han, and when Jennifer came home, Han was upset. He wanted to throw her out of the house for lying, but Bick was like, "No, honey, she's still our child. She needs to stay. What we need to help her, this and this." So she ended up staying. So what happened was Jennifer had to start working to finish high school. And then when she did do that, which I was saying way back in the beginning that she should have done this, after she did that, then her parents started trying to convince her to apply to college. But for her to be able to stay in the house and continue on with them, they forbid her to speak to Wong or go anywhere or do anything
Or
except to keep,
breathe.
good lord, yeah, right,
Oxygen.
except to keep her piano teaching job. Now I gotta say, at 24, that's a bit much. She's a grown woman.
It
Like,
is. It is.
that's a bit much. But of course, she kept speaking to Wong in secret anyway. But as time passed by, he started getting frustrated because he couldn't really see her. He couldn't really speak with her. Her parents were always watching her. She couldn't leave the house. So he decided he didn't want to be in a relationship with her because it was just all a bit much. And I was going to say also, I guess he didn't feel like going through that hardship of dealing with a relationship with her. And I wanted to say this because I want to point out to women or even guys, if you're getting to
Okay.
know somebody and something befalls you, a hardship befalls you, always look at these people and see how they're willing to act. Are they going to be patient
Oh,
with you
so
while you
true.
go through this hardship, or are they just going to be like, you know what, this is a little bit much for me, I'm out. Now, don't get me
Yeah. How do
wrong.
you deal with adversity? I totally agree with that.
Exactly. Now, don't get me wrong. If
Yeah.
this is a month in and they're like, "I'm out," well, that's completely different. They don't
Then
really know
that's
you
fine.
from, yeah. But if
Exactly.
you're a while in and either the guy or girl, they're just like, "I can't deal with it," and they're saying they love you and all this stuff, then those are not the ones for you. I'm also not telling you to continuously have hardships or fabricate hardships to test anybody, because then you're a psycho and they need to leave you. They need to run fast and far. But yeah, I just wanted to say that.
Oh, good disclaimer, Kai.
So Wong basically broke up with her, and he actually started dating someone else. So this girl, I guess she actually had time for him, and he actually got into her, and he actually fell in love with this girl. Which all of this made Jennifer start panicking because she really liked Wong, and I think it's just the fact that he was like her first boyfriend and the first person that she can just be herself and chill around. So she kind of just really like locked on to him. You know what I'm saying? Again, as parents, you got to raise your children right. If you're if you're forcing your children not to be able to do anything, then once they leave your house or find a way to leave your house, even if it's just sneaking around, they're going
They're
to go
like a tiger
freaking
out of a
insane.
cage.
Exactly. They're
Yeah.
going to go freaking insane. So that's basically what she did. She went insane for Wong. She started panicking and she started trying to figure out a way to get him back. So what does she do? She is famous for lying. So we already know the next step she's going to do is lie. She lied to
Of
him.
course.
She told him that some guy had come to her house pretending to be a cop. So he knocked, hey, Toronto police, open up. And when she went and opened the door, a bunch of guys just charged in and they gang raped her. They were like, oh, yeah, we're here to gang rape you. Somehow we knew a girl was in here, so we were here to rape you. So that's what she told him. And then she also said,
boy.
yeah, and then after that, like that wasn't enough. After that, she said a bullet was mailed to her, and on the name on the envelope was his girlfriend. So his girlfriend was like, you know what, Jennifer, I'm getting sick and tired of you calling my man, so here's a bullet, you know what this means, and I'm also going to trace this back to me by putting my name on it. Here's my return envelope, here's my return address, and yeah, I don't know what you're going to do with this. So she just needed
So
to
funny.
according to Jennifer, she just needed to let Jennifer know who the boss was. Like, okay. So Wong was like,
Okay.
yeah, okay. So you were gang raped, and then my girlfriend sent you a bullet in the mail. So
Like, what are the chances of all these life happenings here, these events? Like, lady, come on, this is really not coming together.
like, right? So in the spring of 2010, Jennifer contacted. So this is where it starts going really left. As we know that happens in our show, they start going left instead of to the right.
Yeah,
we're like, hey,
super
kind of
left.
stay in the middle, don't go, you're veering to the
Yeah,
left.
she's over the ledge.
Somebody grab the wheel. But in the spring of 2010, Jennifer contacted a guy from her high school who she claimed always talked about the fact that he robbed people at knife point. So he, according to her, he would just be running down the halls in school and be like, I robbed somebody with a knife. Yeah, ha, ha, I robbed somebody with a knife. And somehow he didn't go to jail. But anyways, she said he said that. But the guy says this is a lie, which I'm more apt to believe it's a lie because I'm pretty sure he would probably be in jail if he was running around telling everybody that's what he did.
Of course.
This guy's name is Andrew Montemayor. So Montemayor then introduced her to some dude named Ricardo Duncan. And Ricardo says that Jennifer gave him $200 one day just to go out with her for the night. Just come on, I'll give you $200 to hang with me. But he was like, no. And he gave her money back. And then another day, she was like, hey, psst, come here. Come closer. I just want to tell you a secret. So I have this dad, right? And I kind of want him dead. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you this $1,500, and like she kind of slips it in his pocket as she's saying that. I'm gonna give you this $1,500, and what I want you to do is my dad works at this job, and in the parking lot, I want you to just gun him down, okay? Just if you could do that for me. I only met you this second time, but I just know we're here, and I know for this $1,500 you're gonna throw your life away from me. Am I right? So he was like,
Whoa.
fuck no, psycho. And he gave the money back to her. And he was like,
That's a no-go.
He told Andrew, he was like, dude, who the frick did you just introduce me to? And he was out. He was like, peace. So after all of this, somehow Wong was like, you know what? I miss crazy in my life. And so he started talking to Jennifer again. I don't know if he missed crazy. I don't know if he actually believed what she said about the gang rape and he felt bad for her or whatever. But anyway, they got back together. And after they got back together, they were like, so she was like, we need to start spending more time together. It can't be like the before. And he was like, I agree. That's why I left you before, because I couldn't see you. And the only way for me to stay is for me to see you. So any stuff needs to change. So, I mean, when you have that conversation with your significant other, the only rational thing that you could think of to do is to plan to hire a professional hitman to kill your parents who's keeping you apart. Am I right?
Of course.
Anybody?
Of course.
Anybody?
What else?
Yeah.
That's the first thing that comes to mind. Sure.
That's the first thing that came to my mind. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get together $100,000. Is it $100,000? No, $10,000, and I'm just gonna kill my parents. I think that's rational, right? Yeah. Anybody? Yeah. You at the grocery store? You over there? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So that's what they came up with. So
that was their master plan.
That was their freaking master plan. And they're brilliant. They're brilliant criminal masterminds. She who fails calculus and makes up all these lies, and he who works at a pizza joint and sells weed and couldn't even really graduate high school. Brilliant criminal masterminds. She said that after she killed them, so look, we're going to hire this professional hitman. He's going to kill my parents for $10,000. And then after I kill them, I'm going to inherit $500,000. And then we can move in together and we can be together forever and ever and ever.
It's a great plan.
Exactly.
Oh, let's do it. Yeah. Oh my God.
So Wong introduced Jennifer to a man named Lenford. What kind of name is Lenford? Lenford Roy Crawford. Wow. Lenford Crawford? Wow. His parents didn't like him.
They ran out of names by the time he was born. He probably had 12 siblings before him. It's like, I'll just name him Lenford Crawford.
Well, yeah, probably. Well, he was actually a Jamaican immigrant, so he's not even from Canada. He's a Jamaican immigrant. So Wong also gave her a SIM card and a burner phone so she can call Crawford. So she did, and then when she called Crawford called someone else named Eric Sean Sniper Carty, who then called a guy named David. Now oh my God, hold on. David Mile Vaganam. Vaganam. Yeah. David. We'll call him David for short.
We'll call him
basically, yeah, right. Okay. So basically, well, I'm going to be saying his name later, so we're going to call him M.
Okay.
So anyway, basically, let me rewind. So she called Lanford, who was like, hey, I got a friend, and his name is Crawford. And then Crawford was like, yeah, well, I got a friend, and his name is Sniper. Well, Sniper was like, well, I got a friend, and his name's David. And now half of Toronto knows that you're trying to kill your parents. Like,
wow. Can you keep a secret?
I know.
Promise?
You promise?
You
pinky promise? So, yeah, all those phone calls were made. So now we're fast forwarding to November 8th, 2010. This day started out like any other day. So Jennifer was practicing piano that afternoon because she said she had to prepare for a piano test. Her mom had gone to her weekly dancing group, which I think it said a line dancing group that she went to every week. Her father had come home late from work, and then when he came home, he usually comes home on time, but he had forgotten something at work, so on his way home he had to turn around and go back to work. And then when he got home, he called his brother, which is Jennifer's uncle, and they went shopping. So the mom, she made dinner or whatever, and everybody ate dinner except for the father. And she wrapped up his food, left it in the fridge or left it in the microwave or left it on the counter for him when he came home. And when he came home, he ate dinner alone, and he went to watch the news in his room. So by now it's night. Jennifer, before she went to bed, she unlocked the front door, and then she went to bed. Then she called M from the burner phone. And after she called M, That's when M and 2 others came into the house right through the front door. It's not locked, no alarm on, just right through the front door. And everyone was armed. Everyone had a gun. So, they came in, hey, everybody in the house, get together. They got everybody in the house, everybody out the room. So that's the mother, the father, the brother, and Jennifer. You know what? I don't even know if the brother was in the house. Was the brother in the house? I didn't hear anything about the brother being.
I don't think we heard much about him.
I don't know if he's in the house, so I'm not going to say the brother. I know the mother, the father, and Jennifer. And they got them all together, tied them up and everything like that. And they demanded all the money in the house. And they basically went in and trashed the master bedroom, saying that they were looking for money. Then the men took Bick and Han to the basement and then shot them multiple times.
Whoa.
Yeah. Then they took all the cash in the house, including $2,000 from Jennifer, and then they left. So with both of her parents dead, Jennifer started her act. She had to get herself hyped up, like, okay, you could do this. Think about what makes me sad. Oh, Wong left me. Yeah. Wong left. Okay, the tears are coming. Maybe cut an onion. Maybe I should cut an onion and rub it in my eyes. Okay.
Because that'll make me cry.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, yeah. I got it. Okay, here it is. Then she called 911. So she called 911. She's screaming and crying. And while on the call with 911, she heard her father yell. And you could hear on the 911 tape when her father yells, you could hear she changes, like her demeanor changes. Because that's when she actually realized, oh, wait, shit, he's still alive. Only her mom was dead. Her father was still alive. So we're going to go ahead and listen to the 911 call now.
911, Truecrime.
Help me, please. I need help.
Where are you, ma'am?
238 Helen Avenue. I think we just don't know. I don't know where my parents are.
Ma'am, calm down. What's going on?
Some people broke into our house and they just showed all his money. And I couldn't hear my parents yelling downstairs.
Okay, ma'am, where are you? 238 what?
Avenue.
238 Avenue Road.
Yes.
Can you spell the street name for me, please?
Dad? Good Lord, I'm calling on
Ma'am. Hello.
I'm okay. I'm alright.
Hello.
Yes.
Ma'am, I need to know your address. Avenue Road. Can you please spell it for me?
Avenue Road, 238 Helen Avenue. My dad just went outside screaming.
Ma'am, can you spell the street address for me, please?
Helen. Someone broke in and I heard shots like pops. I don't know what's happening. I'm tied upstairs. I think my dad went outside and he's screaming.
Okay, you're upstairs? You think someone's still in the house?
I heard them leave. I don't know if they're still around.
Okay, are you safe? Can you lock your door? Are you upstairs?
I can't. I'm tied. My hands are tied.
You're tied?
I had my cell phone in my pocket.
Someone invaded your home, ma'am?
Yes, and
you
I
heard gunshots?
They had guns, and they were holding me at gunpoint. Please, hurry.
Okay, do you hear your mom anywhere downstairs? Do you think your mom's outside too?
Sorry?
Do you think your mom is downstairs too still, or
I don't hear her anymore.
Okay, just take a deep breath, okay? Do you know that if they know your parents, anything like that, with any relation to them, do they call them there?
I don't
They just came and tied you up and...
They came in and they were like, where's all your money? Where's your money? Where's your wallet? And
they were asking you for money?
Yeah, could you call my uncle and my aunt, please?
Okay.
They live nearby.
Don't worry, okay? We have lots of help on the way, okay? What's your name?
My name is Jennifer.
Jennifer? Okay, Jennifer. You're doing a great job, okay?
I think I hear them.
You hear them? Okay, just stay on the phone with me till you see them, okay? Jennifer? Jennifer?
Yeah?
You're still on the phone, right? Okay. Do you see anyone there?
Yeah, I hear them. Hello? 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 I'm upstairs.
Okay, Jennifer, they're with you, okay?
I don't know where my mom is.
Jennifer?
Yes?
They're with you, right?
I don't see them yet. I hear them.
Okay, you want to stay on the phone with me till you see them? They're there, okay?
Yes.
Jennifer, I'm going to hang up, okay?
Okay.
Okay, take care, okay?
Yeah.
Guys, you will not believe what happened. Char had some technical difficulties, and now we're recording this part on a different day. Oh my god. But anyway, where we left off was we were listening to the 911 call, and I was asking you, Char, did you hear the craziness of that 911 call?
Oh my gosh. Just
Yeah, you
wow.
heard when it changed. Like she was like, like, oh, somebody broke in, my dad, this and this, and then you heard when she heard her dad screamed, and she heard her dad was alive, and you heard the change in her tone because she had thought her dad was dead this whole time. Did you hear that on the recording?
Yeah, we compared it in our pre-recording. We compared it to the Chauncey Mormon case where she literally lied to the body cam 37 times. And she was all out of breath, huffing, puffing because the lies weren't coming to her fast enough, or at least making sense out of the lies. But this chick, I don't know. She's just really out there. I mean, goodness, I think anybody could beat Chauncey on that. But yeah, really.
Well, with Chauncey's recording, her recording was just that was the 911 recording, and then it hung up, and then they went to find her based on the location. But with Jennifer's recording, she was actually saying stuff and trying to sound like she was like in distress. So it was just crazy. So anyways, when the cops did come, so they stayed on the phone, the 911 operator stayed on the phone with Jennifer until the cops get there. So you could hear all that on the call. So when the cops did get there, Jennifer told them that the intruders had tied her up, but then she was actually able to get her hands free and call them. And if you watch the video, which that's something else I'm also going to put on it's going to be in our, what do I want to say? The video is going to be in our group, our fan page group. So if you want to see this video of basically everything she's doing, talking to the cops, her interrogation, everything like that, it's all recorded. So if you want to see this video, just go ahead and go to our Love and Murder fan page. And I'll also put that link in the comments below. So anyways, so when she told the cops that her hands were supposed to be tied behind her back, so her hands are tied behind her back, and she's saying she was able to get her phone out and call them. Said she was able to get her hands like a little bit free to go ahead and call them. And you'll see when they're interrogating her, they have her recreate that. Like if your hands were tied behind your back, how were you able to get your phone and everything like that?
Wow.
Yeah, but I mean, she did. She was. If you look at it, she was actually able to show them how she did it. And in this psychology video that I'm gonna put in the group, it basically says if she had deviated just a little bit, if she had done something just a micro centimeter different, they would have said no. They would have said that was a lie. But she did it perfectly, where she was able to get her arm, like show them how her arm was tied, and she got her phone out. So
wow.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know if she thought it through, or I don't know, maybe she practiced it before. But anyway, police then took her father, Han, to Markham Stouffville Hospital, where he was initially treated for his wound, and then they air vacced him to Sunnybrook Hospital in Toronto, where he was then put into a medically induced coma. So while they're doing that, the cops take Jennifer, and they actually took her to the to the station, and they interviewed her, and they were really gentle with her, like, I understand, gave her water, they were patting her arms, like, take your time. But they did say even through that, there were some red flags that the investigators noticed in her mannerisms. So her story itself was airtight, but unless you're a freaking actress, you can't force your emotions. So her story was good, but the emotions wasn't matching the story.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, so like I said, I'll post a video in our Facebook group, so just look for Love and Murder fan page. Not the business page, it's actually a group, Love and Murder fan page, and I'll post the link below. I got this from a really good source on YouTube, so you could watch all of the cops interviewing her. And the video that I'm going to send to you is actually criminal psychology. So it's a guy looking at the psychology of the criminal, and he stops the video to like explain different aspects of how she's acting, how she's moving, how she's responding, and everything like that. It was really interesting when I watched it. So if you want to take part in that, go over to our Facebook group, and the link is below. But moving on. Because the cops didn't actually believe her story, they brought her in for a second interview. And if she had been smart enough, she would have known that, wait a second, they don't bring innocent people in for another interview. Rarely do they do that. So her red flags would have been going up, but she's so secure in her story, and she didn't realize that they were bringing her back in to interview. Then, even though they brought her in a second time, they still weren't satisfied with her answers, so they brought her in a third time.
Wow.
But
okay, the third time's the charmer. We'll see.
But with the third time, they actually brought in a special detective to speak with her. And he did an excellent job, because this is what he does. And he noticed even more red flags during that interview.
Body language too, I'm sure.
Yeah, so after you listen to our podcast, go and watch that video, and you'll see how he interacts with her. So by the time it's the third interview, they're no longer as gentle as they were in the first interview.
I bet.
So she actually got to the point where she admitted that she hired the contract killers, but she said I'm sorry, I had to laugh at this. But she said she hired them to kill her and not her parents.
Wow. How noble. How perfectly noble of you.
But even though she said this, yeah, right? But even though she said this, he didn't believe her. And basically, with all the evidence piling up and stuff, it just wasn't making sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he went ahead and arrested her for murder, attempted murder, and conspiracy to commit murder. Good Lord.
So it's one of those three are going to stick.
Yeah, you gonna get something.
Definitely.
So this was She's a
little messy. She's messy Marlita, as we say.
So this was November 22nd in 2010. There's more to the interview, but it was like 4 hours long. So like I said, I'll post that YouTube video in our group, Love and Murder fan page group, for you to
that'll
see.
Be a good one.
Yeah, it's like they condensed it, obviously, but it's a 4 hour long interview. So just if you want to watch this, just go to our fan page and ask to be let in. So then, so M, as we're calling him, was arrested on April 14th, 2011, and then Cardi was arrested at Maplehurst Correctional Complex. So basically, he was already in prison. Guess what he was in prison for?
Ooh.
He was in prison for another murder. Not related to this one. I'm serious. So he was already in prison for another murder.
Killer in her hands too, with that
dude.
Yeah.
And then Wong, who was her boyfriend, was arrested on April 26, 2011, at work. So imagine that you're at work and you get arrested in front of everybody.
Yeah.
And
so embarrassing enough. Yeah. I'm just trying.
Yeah, they were probably like, Mm-hmm. They probably was wondering why he got arrested. And then imagine this. You're working with someone and you've been working with him for years, and then he gets arrested in front of you, and then you don't know why he's arrested. You're like, did he steal something? Was it because he had drugs or whatever? And then you see the news and he was arrested for murder. Oh, good Lord.
Oh my gosh.
Right? You're like, oh my God, and I worked right next to him?
No, I'm thinking I'm hiring Ben Verified or getting the app or something for the next employee that we hire. Like I have something.
Right.
You're like, oh my gosh, yeah, that's crazy.
And then Crawford was arrested while going into custody for another crime that he committed. So he was arrested while he was going into custody, and that happened on May 4th, 2011. So they were arrested like really spread out there.
Yeah.
So the trial for this started on March 2014 and lasted 10 months. As you well know, of course, everyone pleaded not guilty.
Not guilty.
Of course. But after evidence, including like they were able to track the cell phones, including text messages. So those text messages that they have in evidence was over 100 messages sent between Jennifer and Wong 6 hours before the murder. That basically went into detail about how the murders were going to be committed.
Oh, it's called digital evidence. People get a clue. Don't these people before they commit a murder? Don't they watch like forensic files or CSI or something? Because it happens all the time. You can't just get rid of the digital evidence, and then you say so much on the text messages. Like what? I could see, some other method of getting the if. Hey, look, go to this 7-Eleven, and I'm going to leave. There's going to be a red balloon behind the dumpster, and inside of that there'll be. Okay, and old dark 30, that's what time you need to be there to get that letter. Like they just literally technology, I'll just text. It's crazy. It just baffles me.
Yeah, no, they
That was
never watch those
fabulous.
shows.
Yeah.
Either they never watch the shows or they think they're smarter than the shows.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, I was like, do you think? Remember that show? Are you smarter than a fifth grader? But
Yeah.
Are you smarter than the dumbest criminal? And turns out they're not. So many.
So yeah, so they had that. They had the tracking from the cell phone, those text messages, and the stories of the break-ins. And so basically the stories weren't really matching up, and how Jennifer couldn't keep her story straight.
Mm-hmm.
And then one of the big red flags was how the killers didn't take her to the basement. So they, for some reason, only left her alive. Like, so why did they take your mom and dad, and why did they leave you alive? Like, you know what I'm saying? So that was the big red flag. Oh, and then obviously evidence from her father, who woke up from his coma.
He just happened to wake up in time.
Yeah, he woke up from the coma and he told them that she wasn't tied up and she was actually communicating with the murderers. She was talking with them like she knew them.
Right. Yeah.
But the only reason why this wasn't the biggest piece of evidence was that because he was shot in the head and he had some brain damage.
They can say that he wasn't all there. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was the defense of the defense lawyer. They tried to play, like you said, he's not all there. He has brain damage. How would he know? Blah, blah, blah. But they had all these other evidence, so they didn't even need that from the father.
Mm-hmm.
So all of them were convicted on December 13th, 2014, and each of them got a life sentence with no chance of parole for 25 years.
What?
Yep, no chance of parole for 25 years.
Wait, what state was this? Colorado? What state? Oh, not Colorado. What state was this again that this happened in? What state?
Oh, girl. This is in Canada.
Oh, that's right. That's a country. Right. Okay, so here's the thing. Do you think that maybe certain countries do have stricter... Like, for example, if that was America, do you think we throw the book based on this case itself for everyone?
It depends on which state she's in. If you're in Texas, yeah, you get in life without a chance.
Yeah, we know about Texas.
Yeah. They might have even gotten the death penalty. But yeah, it definitely depends on which state you're in. So Jennifer is currently 34 years old, and she's at the Grand Valley Institution for Women in Kitchener, Ontario, and she won't be eligible for parole until November 2035, and we're in 2021.
You said 20, not for 25 years each.
Yeah, but I'm just, just for the people who can't math like me, I wanted to put out the year. So
we appreciate that, because I can't math like you, and there's plenty of that cannot either. They're on my side. Like, no, Char.
No, I'm on your side. I'm saying they can't math like me. I can't math either. So, her father and her brother, her father and her brother actually requested a court order that banned her from ever contacting members of her surviving family ever again.
Wow.
So, I dig it.
She's shunned as well from the family.
If your kid tried to murder you, what would you do?
Oh, no. I totally agree. I'm just saying. Saying, shunned on top of everything else. Your only family are those scary people in prison.
Yeah, right? So Cardi actually died in his cell on April 26, 2018. And Everybody else right now is alive and can't get out. Well, can't ask to get out for the next 25 years. So.
Did they mention how he died? Do you think it was a conspiracy? Was it?
It didn't mention how he died. It just said he died in his cell.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Gosh. Wow.
So basically, that's the story of Jenniferpan and how she tried to win her freedom from her parents, only to be basically less free.
Yeah, that's right. Only to be caged. I need my freedom. Okay, you're caged the rest of your life. Oh, that works. I get that. It's not so much easier.
Well, if you like this story, well, yeah, I'm gonna call your parents and tell them to hide because you like this story. Something's wrong with you. However, go ahead and give us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. Just hit that like and give us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stars. And in the description, say something like, I don't know, I'm a tiger parent, I'm a lion parent, I ran away from my parents. I don't know, something. Or something. Just go ahead and leave.
I'm too nice of a parent. I'm a pushover.
Yeah, just say whatever you want in the description. But basically, why I asked this is basically this helps bring us up in the chart. So if you do that, will be greatly, greatly appreciated. Don't forget to visit us. Why can't I speak? This is because we're recording on a different day.
This isn't our norm. Got it.
My mouth is only good to record on a certain day, and now we're on a different day, so my mouth can't speak. Anyways, don't forget to visit us on Patreon and become a subscriber for crazy bonus episodes and to hear your name said at the end of the show based on what kind of subscription you have. Right now, we do have a couple bonus episodes there, and we're about to put out on Tuesday. We're about to put out another bonus episode. This one is a true crime. So these 3 bonus episodes that are going to be there are the only free ones that you're going to see. So if you want to get the rest of the bonus episodes, please go ahead and subscribe to us on Patreon.
Yep.
$3 and above will get you the bonus episodes and some other good things. Follow us on social media, facebook.com/relationshipcrime, Instagram at Love Murder Podcast, and our brand new Facebook fan group at Love and Murder Fan Page. So, I want to thank you for lasting throughout this story and throughout Char's technical difficulties.
Again.
And as always, y'all, all love
and no murder.
So, see you next time. Bye.
Bye.